Hello everyone, Harsh Verma this side, and I am again here to configure this fallen beast. This is Dell N3048, and if you be following me from the past few videos, I must have told you that we have a task to configure at least 29 of these beasts. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how we can configure this. We are going to configure VLAN, upgrade the firmware of the switch, and at least to show you that I'm not joking. This is, I'm sorry, it's very hard to capture on this laptop. So if you can see this, these are the 20 switches. These are the 20 ones. So without any further delay, let's begin how to configure it. Okay. So the prerequisites of the configuration are you have to have the switch in its physical self, because we are also doing the firmware upgrades. So it's not possible to remotely upgrade the firmware. It might be, but I am not aware of that. Then you will need a console cable like this, in which one end have a USB while the other end has a RJ45 jack. Then you need one second, a normal patch cable RJ45, in which one end I am connecting a USB dongle so I can pair the management port with my PC. Obviously you will need a power cable to power the switch, and that's all. So we will start with the unboxing or unpacking of the switch. So this is a new switch, as I've just told you. Please allow me a few seconds of time so I can set it up, as well as we do have some software requirements as well. So we will look also that. So let me settle this. Okay. I don't know how much this switch is weighing, but it's definitely over 5 kgs or 8 kgs. So here we have two power supplies. The first task would be connect the power cord. This is the power cord, and the Dell supply comes with notched kind of port. If you can see this, this is the notch here. So we have to keep mind of the notch as well as this pyramid type of pattern. So I have connected it. Now I have connected it. Now the other end will go to the power outlet, and we have to put our console port in the console section, which is here. I also want to show you this, that we have actually two ports here. The one marked with ones and zeros is the known as console port, while the other marked with a LAN symbol is the management port. So we have to put the console cable in the console port, while the other cable we have to put that in management port. So we can assign an IP address in the management when we download the firmware on this device, and we'll transfer that firmware to this switch. Okay. So let me put it here back again and make the necessary connections with our laptop. So I have connected the console cable. This is the black cable is for our management. So I will connect the management cable too with our laptop. Okay. So as per every modern laptop, this laptop is also has a shortage of ports. So I have to go all the way around. As I can see, we don't have any another USB port left. So I should have to unplug this USB drive. and this OBS Studio as well as all the other apps are running from that USB drive. So what we can do, either we can bring an dongle from the outside. So please allow me time for 5 minutes at least. Okay, so I'm pausing the video. I will back again soon. So thank you for waiting, guys. So I'm not able to accommodate USB Type C hub or OTG cable to accommodate with this laptop. So I get a regular USB hub. Now I can connect both the cables, the console cable as well as the management cable, and the management RJ45 jack will go in this side. And now I can connect both of these devices, both of on this single USB Type A port. Okay, now time to power on the switch. But before powering on the switch, how can we know that what the switch is giving me output? So now, moving to our computer screen, let's keep it aside. Okay, so we have to open an application known as Putty, Putty, which will show us the commands or the commands or not command, the menus, the we can see the boot menu of the switch using this application. We have to set the serial port number on which our device is assigned. To find the console ID, we have to run this ncpa.cpl, which essentially opens the control panel of the device. No, sorry, you have to open the device manager in order to know that. Device manager, and as per the device manager, we can see, wait for a second, we have to see that we haven't recognized a new COM port. Why it is taking a time? If I reconnect it, please allow a few second time so it can be recognized. There must be a new device here known as COM4, COM5 or COM6, because the COM3 port is the internal port of the laptop and it is not necessary in our scenario. So while waiting for that, let me power on the switch. So I will be pausing the video for a second. Okay. Thank you for waiting for these painful minutes. And after waiting, as now we can see that we have a new USB serial device, COM5 device, now connected with the PC. And I haven't done anything. The cable that come with Fortinet box, actually I was reading an article regarding the same, that Fortinet is not providing any driver support for these kind of cables. So that's not an issue because the Windows seem to be recognize this device after a few more minutes. So in order to see what this switch in its default mode is giving us output, we have to use another app known as Putty. So we have to open the Putty, we have to select the serial option, and we have to enter the new device which is COM5. As you can see on here, USB serial port COM5. We just have to enter COM5 and open a connection. So now the connection will be heard by this laptop on the COM5 serial port that is connected via the USB hub. Now it's time to power on the device. So you guys can see, one second. And this is the time when I am powering on the device by connecting with it. And here I have connected the device. And you must started hearing, and this gibberish text is being written on the device. So let me go it by full screen. So now there's a two way in order to upgrade this device. Either we can interrupt the boot process by pressing 2. It will give an option regarding the interruption of boot process. So we can either interrupt it or we can let it boot, download the image to the device, and next time in its boot up we can interrupt and will guide it to boot from the latest image. So here you can see that we have to press within 3 seconds to start an operational code or display boot menu. So we have to be display boot menu in order to do the upgrade without actually booting the switch from scratch. So we are going the other way. So by the time the switch is booting, let's download the firmware for the device, for this particular device. For that, you have to actually locate the the service tag of the device. On every Dell device, or mostly on by every manufacturer, there's the service code by which a device can be identified on their website, so they can provide the appropriate support. So for that, I will be opening a browser. For example, I can open Firefox, or let's go with Edge this side because Edge needs love too. So let the Edge load. And the device is asking whether we want to run the setup wizard. No, I don't want to run the setup wizard. And now we are in the device console mode. Let's see whether this thing can be zoomed. Sorry, but zoom is not supported on this one. So I'm really sorry for that. Okay. So let's enable the device, show running config. And now this is at the device is at its factory level. So we don't have any configurations, but we can see that we do have some stack configurations going on. So what we can do is we can factory reset the device. So all of these configurations, that is we can see that the device is configured as slot line on the stack. So we can also renumber this, or we can factory reset the device. Why not just renumber it? Okay. So in order to do the renumberings, I have written the command here, so I don't forget it in mid of the video. So the command goes like, wait a second, let me make it so we don't have a 50-50 option here. Yes, we do have. So if I open the command regarding the Dell N3048P, open, this is the command. The command is switch 1 renumber to. So we have to go to config mode, switch current, the number is 9, I want to renumber it 1 because I want it to be a stack master. Now the switch will restart, and while the time the switch is restarting, let's download the firmware for the switch on a new window. We have to visit this support website of the Dell, support.dell.com. Okay. From where we have to download services, support, drivers and downloads. We have to enter the service tag. Service tag can be found on a plastic type of cable. I will show that after completion of this video because this laptop is now loaded with multiple cables. I don't want to interrupt the connection. So the service tag is enter. Now this is our power switch N3000 series, and for the driver, no, I will not help right now in mid of the video. So we can see that this is the firmware version 6.33 is recommended, but the latest firmware is 6.5.4.23. So we are now going to download this 6.5.43 as its latest and greatest firmware. So we have to click on other format. Now we can see a zip file. We have to download this one. And now the file is being downloaded. Let's see, has our switch rebooted? Yes. So we don't have to enable show running configuration. Now we can see that the slot number is 1. Only if I can show you by zooming. But now you can see, if you zoom enough on the video, because nowadays even YouTube allows you to zoom if you are watching on the smartphone. So you can see that the slot number is now 1 and our file has been also downloaded. So if we open it, we just have to pick out this STK file. This STK file is the updated firmware. So what I will do, I will start copy it to the desktop. Okay. So the file now has been copied to our desktop, and from there I have to install another application which is known as FTPD. FTPD, what it does, it starts our laptop as a server in order to download the file to the firmware. Okay, so how we will do that? Either we can download about FTPD and download the application from the GitHub directly. Here is the latest release, FTPD Pro. And where is Windows file? Sorry, FTPD Windows. I don't want to download FileZilla. One second, I do have an exe file stored on my pen drive. So why not directly install from there? We have to visit our documents. Then we have to go to where? Table apps. TFTPD. I'm sorry guys, the application is TFTPD. And we have to install it. I agree. Start TFTPD. Okay. And then install it. Let it install and close it. So we have to allow it. In order to make it work completely, either you have to allow these IP addresses from the Windows firewall, or you can turn off the Windows firewall while we are doing the upgrade task. Now, in order to initiate the connection between this switch and this laptop, we have to assign an IP address to the management port as well as the same subnet IP address to the other end of the management port that is connected to this laptop. So now what we can do, we can switch to network connections, the ncpa.cpl command from the run menu that we have run earlier. From there we can see that there is an Ethernet 2 as an unidentified network. We have to visit its property, go to property, go to IPv4, Internet Protocol version 4, and there we can see that there's an IP assigned 192.168.10.2, and there is a subnet of 255.255.255.0. So just you can keep that too. Now what we are going to do is to assign the out of band management port of the switch the IP from the same subnet. Okay, so right now, as you can see, we are in hashtag mode. Hashtag mode is the privilege exec mode. So we have to enable the configuration mode by entering conf. Then we have to configure the interface O, and after putting tab we can see the interface out of band management. Now we can assign an IP address 192.168.10. We can assign 1, and with this same subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Enter. Okay, now the IP has been assigned. So a connection is established between the switch and this device. So let's see, check it by doing a ping. Do ping. We are putting do in front of ping because we are right now in interface configuration mode, and ping is a native command for the privilege exec mode. So we have to put a do in order to run such commands. Now pinging the 192.168.10.2, the IP of our desktop. And yes, now we can see that the ping is being succeeded, 0% packet loss. So what we have to do is to put the image of the STK file that we just downloaded from the internet to this switch. So the command for it, first we have to go to the privilege exec mode, then we have to copy what? Copy TFTP, okay, colon slash slash the IP address of the PC 192.168.10.10.2, the IP address slash the file name. But before entering the file name, let's configure our server, which is TFTPD server, TFTPD 64. So we have to do some few settings here. We have to bind the TFTP address to this address, which is 192.168.10.2. okay. And base directory, we have to select desktop as our base directory because we have put the files on the desktop. Okay. And now okay. And this program will have to restart. So has the program restarted? No. We have to close it, open it again, TFTPD64, and switch to 192.168.10.2. Now the server has been started. So moving back to our putty, what we have to do now is to copy the name of the file, which is on the desktop. The name of the file is N3048P Lite, and something. We have to copy it all and paste it on putty using the command shift insert. Where is insert? And we have to copy it on our backup file. Backup. So I just wanted to show you that before running this command, because just after running this command, our backup image will be upgraded. So I just want to show you that we have a downgraded version right now. So I'm not running this command. I'm actually canceling the command right after, though I don't want to start it. I just want to run show version. And now you can see that we have active image of 6323. We do have backup image of 6318, and we are upgrading to 654.23. So now running the command again. Yes. And now we can see that our TFTPD application is showing that the bytes are being transferred from the laptop to the backup side of this device. So allow some time so it can be done. You can skip the video to the good part, and I am programming, or I am deciding to put the timestamps for the video. Okay, so the timestamp will be in the description as well as in the comment section. Okay, by the way, this is the time we can reflect on our life, that what we were yesterday, what we have become, and what is our plan of tomorrow. So this is the time. So in the meanwhile, you can tell me about this video. How are you liking this video? Whether the video is being recorded or not, let me check it. Yes, it has been 23 minutes already. I hope you are enjoying what I enjoy as my day-to-day business. And while talking now, we can see that the progress is 76% up to now 78. And here we can see that the numbers of bytes transferred is updating. Okay, let it load completely. And finished. Now enter. It is doing some checksum maths in its background, so it's not responding. Wait for a few seconds, the response will be a wait. And yes, attempting to send the STK file to the other units in the stack. STK file transfer operation successful, all units updated, because the switch still thinks that it is in a stack. Never mind. Now if we see the show version command, now we can see that active has still 6.3.23, but backup will have now 6.5.4.23, which is a good part. Now the next task is to start from the backup. Okay, so now we have to pass command reload. So the switch will restart itself. Enter. And the management switch has unsaved changes. Are you sure want to continue? Yes, I do want to continue. And are you sure that you want to reload the stack? Yes. While the switch is reloading, we have to interrupt the boot process of the switch. It may take a few second time. So let me tell you about the stacking in a few words. So stacking is a feature of switches like this Dell or Cisco switches or multiple vendor switches, in which we can reduce the management cycle of the switch to a single switch. If we configure or make changes to one switch, all the changes all the changes to all the switches which are in stack will be changed at once, and this is the sole purpose of stacking switch. So all different switches will act. So we have to enter 2. So as right now you can see that I have interrupted the boot menu, and here at 11th number we can see that we have an option to activate the backup image. Okay, so by pressing 11 and putting enter, now we can see that the image one activated and system reboot is now also recommended. So we can reboot. Yes, we have to reboot. And now the system is restarting from the fresh image that we have just installed. And this is the moment in which the normally video ends, but I'm not ending it right now because I do have to configure some VLANs on it, and we have to assign its all ports as a trunk port and assign all of the VLANs, which means that we have to pass through all the VLANs that I will be configuring on the switch via all the ports. So after that, the configuration part of mine on this switch will be finished. So please stay. This time we don't have to interrupt it. Let it load. Waiting for management unit. Still it's taking its time. So let it load. Don't hurry. And again, the time has come to reflect on our life. So how, my friend, how your life is going? Now we are in the switch again. So if I enable, uh, when the switch boot, the first mode is known as the user exec mode. We do have a very limited set of command. So we have to type in order to get the privilege exec mode. Okay. So now we can see show version, and because we have been boot from the backup image will have become as an active image. Now we can see that as an active unit we have 6.5.4.23, and the backup image is as old image as 6.3.2.3, and we do not have any configuration saved yet. So we do have to reassign the IP address to the management port, and we do have to run the copy command. The copy command what? The copy command of the desktop image to backup image in order to upgrade this 6.3.23 again to the latest version, as well as create some VLANs and assign the VLANs as a trunking port. So in this scenario, we will do the complete configuration and also save the configuration. So starting from it, we have to go to the configuration mode. We have to go to interface, out of band management. We have to assign an IP address, which is 192.168. What was that? 10.1. And we have a subnet of 255.255.255.0. Enter. Okay. Now what we have to do? But before configuring even uh, or copying the STK file from the laptop to the switch, let's make some VLANs first. So the task that I was assigned with is to create a VLAN from 11 to 400. So let's create it. uh, it's throwing me an error because we cannot create VLANs inside an interface configuration mode. So we have to exit it from here. Exit. Now we have to pass the same command, and now we can see that the multiple VLANs have been created. So how we can see that the VLANs, whether the VLANs have been created or not, we can pass the command do show VLAN. And now we can see that there are multiple VLANs. We can press Q to quit because we have created 11 to 400 VLANs on this switch. Now our task is to assign these ports starting from the port number 1 to port number 48 to all of these VLAN. So how we can do that? We have to jump to interface range configuration from G, which stands for gigabit Ethernet. Now the port is 1/0/1 to range of 48. Now the range has been selected. We have to assign as its trunk port. So switch port trunk encapsulation dot 1q. The encapsulation is the additional field that is added to the data or the frames when the switch outputs it from its port. Okay, so we are using the dot 1q encapsulation there. Now we have to pass the command switch port mode trunk in order to make all these ports as trunk port. Now all the ports starting from the port 1 to port 48 has become a trunk port. Now we have to pass or allow the all VLANs on these all ports. So switch port mode switch port trunk allowed VLAN all. Now all the VLANs has been allowed from all the ports. Now we do have to write this configuration. So we can write do write, because writing is also a privilege exec command. So we have to append do in the front. Or you want to save? Yes. So let it save. Actually, the append is not the correct word. We have to prefix the do before writing the write command. Okay, now the configuration have been saved. So here is a shortcut. If we write end, we can directly jump to the privilege exec mode and run the copy command from there. Copy from tftp / 192.168.10.2 is our PC, right? And we again have to paste our file name. File name is here. We have to press F2, Control A to select all, Control C to copy, and Shift and insert, and we have to copy it to backup, because now the previously active image has become a backup. Backup. Press enter. Invalid URL. I think okay, I missed the colon. No problem, that's not a problem. I can fix it by moving the cursor. Okay. Enter. So are you sure? Yes, I am very sure. So the transfer is still in progress in the TFTP application. Now we can again see that the transfer has been initiated, and in terms of percentage we have already 27% ahead, 30%, 34%, 37%, 40, 43, 46, 49, 52, 55, 59, 62, great, 65, wholesome, 68%, 71%, 74%, what, 77%, 80, 83, 87, 90%, 93, 96, 99, and finally we have done completed our configuration. And just for the safe side, I will be writing this to memory, and we will check the show version command again in order to check whether the actual upgrade has been done on this switch or not. So let it complete its attempt. Show version. Now we can see that the active and backup has the same image. And what I just wanted to show you, yes, write, and yes, I want to write it. So that's all in this video, and let me switch to full screen again. So now we don't require the connection to the this switch. So I just wanted to show you how we can find this type of tag you can find in the back of the switch, and this kind of tag, it can be found on server as well, where the service tag is listed. Okay, so that's all in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for joining with me, and see you in the next one.